Good evening. So, when Art reached out to me, I'm like, well, what you want me to tell the people? And so, yes, I'm a real estate agent. Yes, I'm a Las Vegas native. Born and raised right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes. I was telling somebody earlier, right. I was telling somebody earlier, I remember when you got to Cheyenne and it was nothing but desert. Yes. I remember coming from East Las Vegas and going to West Las Vegas, or what's considered Northwest Las Vegas. It was like going out of town. I felt like I was going to California. But I just want to tell you guys my story. And so I'm hoping that my story encourages somebody tonight to just leave here empowered, encouraged, and with a newfound sense of confidence. Because sometimes people see in you what you don't see in yourself. So let me just go really quickly to my background. I was used to always being the person in the back. I would make an event successful. I could throw a birthday party, graduation party, a baby shower. I can make a business go from 0 to 100 real quick. Ask Lens Crafters. I spent 10 years at Lens Crafters. By the time I finished at Lens Crafters, every time a store would go in decline, they would say, Marquetta, I need you to go over here and get this store together. And in the end, I was the only Black regional manager in Lens Crafters. Yeah. And so my company saw something in me that I didn't see, but I would go and do my job. Well, when my daughter was a senior in high school during the summer, my husband looked over and he was like, I need you to leave that job and come do for our business what you've been doing for Lens Crafters, and part-time once you leave Lens Crafters at nighttime. Well, I was making over 6 figures at Lens Crafters, and I was getting medical benefits, dental benefits, vision benefits, life insurance, and bonuses, and so on and so on, 401k. I had all that going, but I was like, oh, sure. But my heart wasn't saying sure. My mouth was saying sure because he was making what I was making sometimes in 3, 4, 5 months. I was like, he got us. He got us. He got us. So knowing that he had us, I left my job. I left all my security blanket, right? But now I got this kid that's so ambitious, and if she think she want to go out of country and be the greatest, mommy gotta fund that, and it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? So I had so much faith in my husband that we were gonna still keep the party rolling, right? Well, a couple of years in, her being in college, I went to this conference, and the people had said, we need you to come to New York because you're one of the top 50 women that we need to watch. And I was like, what? Why y'all awarding me? And when I got to the conference, they said, who are you? Boom, I got it. Let me tell you. So me and my husband, we own DeVille Realty Group. We're the largest Black-owned real estate company in the state of Nevada, and blah, blah, blah. And my husband this, and my husband that, and my husband this. And the lady stopped me. She was like, whoa, 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 honey. Who are you? I said, all right, I got it. At this conference, I should have went to another breakout session, but I went back to her because I had a point to prove that day, right? So I'm going back to her session, and I said again, oh, I'm Marquetta DeVille. I'm the co-owner of the largest Black-owned real estate company in the state of Nevada, and I just took of everything I had said the day before and put my name in front of it now. And put an I in front of it now. And then she was like, man, you done came back and you done told me everything you told me about him, but instead of saying we, I, him, or we, him, my husband, Greg, you said, well, she said you threw a few we's in, but I still don't know who you are. And I was like, dang. So now you're telling me my last day in this conference, I got to come back with a vengeance, right? I got to come back and somehow switch up what I've been trying to tell you for 3 days, but you were not listening. You want me to say something other than what I just said. I went back to the hotel room, and when I got in my room, I began to cry. Because I said, apparently this lady sees something in me that I don't see in myself. Apparently, her spirit is talking to her about me, and I don't even know what it is. And so when I got through crying, I got out a piece of paper, and I began to try to write about who I was. But I was still Jayla's mom, Greg's wife, my grandkids' grandmother, my brother's second mother, my sister's second mother. Like, I did not know who I was. But then I went on a vengeance because I was like, hey, yo, when I leave, I'm going to know who I am. I'm going to know my purpose. I'm going to know what I was meant to do. I'm going to go back to Vegas and I'm going to serve my community. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I had this whole list of stuff that I was going to do, right? And so when I got ready to tell my husband what I had got a download from God on what I had to do when I got back to Vegas, I stopped and I said, nope, this is personal. This is between me and God. And so I prayed to God. I said, God, if it's meant for me to go back and be who you showed me I am in New York, then you know what? You're going to have to make something happen. I said, I can't say my husband, oh, guess what? I got this idea. I'm going to go and take some money from our account and go make this happen, because he going to be like, who are you? You don't have ideas like we do what I do, right? We DeVille Realty Group, because I saw a vision in 2003 of DeVille Realty Group. So I said, God, if we gonna do this, we gotta do this. And that's how I talk to God, y'all. I be like, look, we homies, God. So if we gonna do this, we gotta do this. Point blank, period. Like, what you wanna do? We doing this or not? And so God gave me confirmation that we were gonna do this. And so when I got back home, I said, God, you're going to have to finance this whole vision. You're going to have to do what you said we was going to do when I was in New York. I ain't telling nobody. I'm not. No, this between me and you. You just send me the people, the resources, and I got the rest. And sure enough, I went and I told my tax accountant, I said, this is what happened in New York. I said, so I need to get moving on this plan that me and God got. And she was like, well, what's stopping you? I said, I don't know if I could really do it because, I'm not a mic person. I'm good with being behind the scenes. I'm good with building the business. That part, the excuses. And so 3 days after I talked to the tax consultant, I had an opportunity, and that opportunity was going to pay me $40,000. And I took it. And I took the money. I did what I had to do. I went home. I started writing my first book. I logged into CSN and found out all the classes I needed to take to graduation. I decided that I was going to start doing a brunch series, and I'm going to educate the community so that we can start to bridge the wealth gap in cultures. Like I was gonna do all this stuff, and I began to do it. And God, I had to hold myself accountable because God had did his part. He then gave me this $40,000 opportunity, and I could not fail. And so at that point, I began to flourish because I knew who I was. And so I want you to rediscover tonight, if you plan on being successful, you have to rediscover who you are. It don't matter whose toes you got to step on. It don't matter who you got to separate from. It does not matter who's in your corner and who's not in your corner. When I told my mom, and me and my mom are like this now, when I said, oh, I'm going to write a book, she was like, girl, you going to write a book? I was like, yeah, it's done. It's at the publisher. It's ready to go live. She was like, you wrote a book? And why does it have a football field on the cover if you're talking about real estate? Like, are you trying to attract athletes? I said, so I can't even tell you. Okay, God, I got it. So, but I did everything I said I was going to do. I lost some friends along the way. I lost some family along the way, but I kept pushing and I kept sticking to the game plan and I kept moving forward and I kept unveiling who I really was. And so people were like, no, you got to do it this way. And I was like, no, I got to do it this way. Me and God already got a plan. And so as I continue to move on in my career, I have accomplished so much over the past few years. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud because today I'm affectionately known as the real estate auntie. And people say, the auntie, what does that mean? Well, I'm the person, I'm that realtor that's going to give you love, wisdom, and do it with a little sassiness, right? And we're going to bridge this wealth gap. We're redefining wealth through equity. And that's what my story and my success comes from, because each set of keys that I give away, I've done my part. Each kid that I educate on financial literacy, I've done my part. If you never buy a home from me, I've done my part because I've embarked something into you that God had to show me in me that you needed. So I'm very intentional about where I go and what I say and who I talk to, because I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help you really redefine your wealth journey. And in redefining your wealth journey, my brunch went from a brunch monthly, and it was sold out every single month. And I told my husband, I said, this has to be a conference. I said, because more than people coming and having brunch. So now I'm on the 3rd annual Wealth Mindset Conference. It's happening next year in April at the Red Rock Casino. Yeah. And I hope to see all of you guys there, because we are changing lives, we are saving lives, and most of all, we're redefining wealth. So again, my name is Marquetta DeVille with your Realty Group. Also, your real estate auntie. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Marquetta DeVille.